Interesting news coming out right now with Moses Itauma, 19-year-old phenom in the heavyweight division. He's going to be clashing against Demsey McKean, a guy who's highly touted amongst heavyweights, and he's been known around circles. Had a tough fight against Hergovic, and he looks to be trying to get the upset against Moses Itauma, and Moses is the favorite going into this fight, and McKean looks like he's overlooked. He feels like a lot of people are overlooking what he brings to the table, and that he's a better fighter than a lot of people expect just because of his record. He's better than what his record says. And in this case right here, he came up with some interesting things that he was saying that I didn't notice. One thing I noticed he said was that the rematch clause was included in this fight between him and Moses, and we're just 5 days out. Well, really, right now we're only about 3 days out away from this fight, and Moses is a guy who has a lot of confidence going into this fight, but McKean feels like he doesn't have much confidence at all. He said he isn't convinced that Frank Warren is 100% confident in his fighter. He said that his team has put in a rematch clause for this fight. It's very interesting that maybe they don't have this 100% faith in their fighter. It's not even a world title fight, and they're opting for a rematch clause. So there's little what if. There's a little not 100% certain that Moses is going to come away with a win. Obviously, there's something going on there with his promoter, Frank Warren, and maybe they're not 100% confident. Thomas basically moving up a level by facing McKean. After 10 fights, the 19-year-old has looked like the goods as he hopes to break Mike Tyson's record by becoming the youngest ever world heavyweight champion. And Moses said he's not really looking at that situation as far as trying to break Mike's record or anything like that. A lot of people are saying that, but him personally, they're trying to make him out to be the media and the surrounding people. They're trying to make him out to be the guy who can break the Mike Tyson record for some reason, but I don't think Moses is in that position where he's trying to make that happen. And they also say there's a lot of hype around him. This is what McKean says about Itauma. There's a lot of hype around him, a lot of noise behind him. They're trying to tab him to beat Mike Tyson's record so they can do what they want. That's what a promotion does. They try to get behind the fighter and promote them. It's one thing to say something, and then it's another to do it. It's easy to look good against competition that he's fighting. Marius Watch, the guy's 45 years old, big as a house, and taking fights on short notice and not really training hard. So he's expected to do what that to Marius Watch. But I'm a guy that's coming in. I'm a guy that's coming in with a full camp under my belt and a contender myself in the prime of my career. I'm actually going to throw punches back, unlike all of his opponents. Looks like that Demsey McKean is putting a lot of things out there in the open and letting them know he's not like these other guys that Moses Itauma has went against, and he doesn't feel like Moses is actually ready in a lot of situations. From the team, the surrounding people, he feels like the public is more high up on him than anyone else, and the confidence is not really there from the promotional team. But the promotional team doesn't get in the ring. They set the fight up, and they're confident enough to put that guy up in there and make it happen. It's a huge risk, but they feel like Moses can get the job done. I know McKean is a guy who's very confident in himself, and he feels like he can pull this off. But to have a rematch clause in the situation, it definitely lets you know that they want to make sure that this guy can get a rematch if anything does go wrong. Everybody does have a puncher's chance, but it's a huge risk with a guy 19 years old going in here against a guy like Demsey. He's not an easy fight. I will say that it's gonna be a very tough fight for Moses, but if he can get past this, he's gonna be on a high uh trajectory. I can say that his trajectory is gonna be very high. And this is a very risky fight in my eyes, but he's able to get it done. He has talent and everything else, but has to be able to go in here and be focused and fight smart. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.